My name is Rakhi Sood, and I am British born in West Middlesex Hospital in Hounslow. Yeah, and I'm a professional teacher, choreographer, and performer. I have done lots of acting and modelling.
And if you tell us a little bit about your family background?
My parents are originally from India. My dad, born in Ludhiana, but raised mostly in Rajasthan. My mum, born in Africa, in Dodoma, and been to Gujarat, back into India, and obviously she had a British passport. She's one of the lucky ones, and that's how they moved downtown London.
What was your first inspiration to dance?
My mother. She was a singer. Well, she was learning Indian singing in Gurukul. That's where she was schooled. And it was my mother when she had me, when I was in her stomach. From that day onwards, she was just saying, I want this girl to be a dancer. It's crazy. And when she took me to dance school, I think I was about 3 or I was about 4, she took me to a dance school. And I actually wasn't really into it. So she took me out of it and then put me into ballet. I did a bit of ballet, I did a bit of jazz, a bit of tap. It was okay, kind of getting into it slowly. So she thought, I wanted to have the ethnic kind of interest. So then she put me back into dance. And I think that's where I got I was a little bit, I think I was about 5 at that time. I got a little bit more into it, and I was good at it because I picked it up. So whatever the teacher was teaching me, I picked it up in like seconds. So I think it was kind of something that my parents or my mum kind of brought into me that made me kind of pick up things, and I just kind of had a real kind of a knack for it. And I think that's what interested me. It's something that I grasped really quickly. I understood, and I was good at it. And I used to always be first in my class, in the Kathak class. So I think that's what really just got me better and better and better, and I just got stronger and stronger.
So who was your first teacher?
My first teacher was, I had so many. My first teachers, what I remember, was Priya Pawar and Alpana Sen Gupta. Do you want me to go further from there? Because I've had so many. Or
That's fine.
That's fine.
What was your first job as a dancer?
As a dancer, I actually started, my dad wanted to build a dance school, so we named it Vedic Cultural Society, and we didn't start it in London. We actually went to Holland to start it, because there was a great interest there, because I'd been asked abroad to perform, because I think from a very young age, I think it was like 8, I started performing quite a lot in mandirs. And Holland, there was somebody that picked me up from a mandir here. They wanted us to perform in Holland, and from there they wanted us to start teaching. So I actually started teaching at the age of 15, 16 in Holland. So it was my first teaching kind of job.
What, according to you, is Bollywood dancing?
It is a big khichdi. That's what I can say. It's a big mixture of every style that you know of: jazz, contemporary, street, hip hop, Spanish, flamenco, salsa, Kathak, Bharatanatyam, Odissi. The list can go on. I think it just depends on the style and the theme and the patterns and bhangra and folk dance. It's just the biggest blend of everything and anything.
How do you adapt your classical style and technique to Bollywood regarding movement, regarding performance philosophy, rehearsal etiquette, discipline, stage discipline, that whole? If you just talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I mean, I think the way I begin, or the way I promote discipline within my students, is through yogic exercises. We do a lot of yoga exercises, I think, which help maintain stability and flexibility. And I think even in my exercises, the warm-ups that I especially do, that involves every type of movement, from R&B to classical to yoga stretches to warming up to just even a bit of jogging. So I think in the first 10-15 minutes that I do a class, in those first 15 minutes I add in so much, but it introduces you to Kathak, to a bit of Bharatanatyam, to a bit of yoga, to a bit of breathing, even pranayam. So I think in that core 15 minutes, I think that's where the discipline starts.
So how would you say you adapt the sort of classical Indian philosophy, you know what I mean, as regards to performance philosophy, or to you use everything?
Oh God, there's so many answers to so many different types of questions. Philosophy, when we're performing, now there's one thing that I use throughout, no matter what style I do, is my Kathak pranam. We have a certain style that I've stuck from Kathak. Now, what's nice about it, it's very open, and it just means a general kind of blessing from energy above, Dhartima, whom we use to dance upon. So certain things that I've taken from Kathak, which I use a lot in my Bollywood. Also, what was I was thinking of something. Trigger me off, something about...
Music.
Yeah, music. Now, for example, we do a beautiful Kathak piece, which we go from old to new. Now, it starts with Shakti, which is a beautiful Shiva nritya that blends into Pakiza, which is from a different, origin altogether, from different style altogether. And then that goes into Umrajan. And then we take on another trance piece from like Buddhaba and Tigers. Yeah, and that is trance music. It's got tabla, it's got sitar, but then it's got a really beautiful funky beat. So we've incorporated our Kathak within there. And then lastly, we've got this amazing piece, which I just love, and the audience are just mesmerized. They just don't understand how it's put together, but they're just breathtaken by it. And that's we've got a piece of Irish music, and we've put complete Kathak to it, with footwork and hand gestures and spins and integration of space and the way we connect and then come out. It's just amazing. And people, since I've done that performance piece, I have had so many show bookings to say, I want that piece, I want that piece, I want that piece. So it's really, really becoming popular. They just come up to me and say, that Irish piece is just amazing. Just tell us how, what, where did you get the idea from? I love fusion work, and it works so well.